Hello guys, welcome back to the channel once again. Today I'm super mega excited once again to share with you guys this very interesting list. Yes, so today I am gonna be sharing a list of, in this case Apple TV. Yes, Apple TV lesbian movies that I would highly recommend you all to go ahead and go watch. I feel like this list is based on very amazing top movies and also movies that I feel like kind of were underrated as well. So, I just wanted to do this list just in case any of you haven't watched any of these movies. And if you have, let me know what is your personal opinion and thoughts on them. But before we get into further details, please don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. It's very important for the growth of the channel. And I also want to say like thank you so much for all the love and all the support. And let's get right into it and not waste any more time. So we're gonna start off with That's Not Us. It's a 2015 film romantic comedy drama. It's an intimate portrait of three couples, including a lesbian couple, as they travel to a beach house to enjoy the last days of summer. But what should be a fun and basically carefree weekend becomes an exploration of what is taken to sustain a healthy relationship. And yes, basically the lesbian couple has communication issues and they just trying to figure out things on how to make their relationship better so that they can stay together as a couple. And you can basically see how they break each other apart, but how they still love each other and trying to make things work between them. And they realize it's complicated, but they also don't want to give up. So moral of the story is just a whole roller coaster ride that they tend to go through in order to make this relationship work. Every couple have their own storyline. Every couple get enough, camera time. So it's a very good movie. And yes, the couple actually have a very interesting, ending as well. This movie was very well known when it was released, so this one will be like, how can we say, a throwback movie that I will highly recommend all of you to go ahead and go watch if you haven't watched it yet, because it's very like nice and very interesting. And then moving forward, we have H.O. Valley. It's a 2025 drama thriller. Kate is dealing with a personal tragedy while owning and basically training horses in H.O. Valley, an isolated and basically quiet place when her and her daughter Claire arrives at the doorstep, frightened, basically trembling and covered in someone else's blood. Kate is a lesbian and she's still trying to figure out the way how to overcome the passing of her lover and in this case her girlfriend. And she's also trying to figure out how to help her daughter who is facing a lot of personal issues and dramas, and she's also trying to be the best person she can be in order to be there for her daughter while she's still basically grieving the passing of her girlfriend. And you could also see she also has a very supportive, how can we say, friend that is also a lesbian that is helping her through everything and just trying to be there for her because she understands that what Kate is going through is super difficult, especially when she finds out that her daughter was playing and betraying her the whole time. So yes, this movie is highly recommended, guys. Like I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed at all. Trust me. Moving forward, we have Rivieri. Yes, the movie was released in 2024. It follows a young girl, in this case Manon, that lives in the Swiss mountains to head out in search of her father, who is nowhere to be found. As she forms new bonds and encounter her first love with another girl, she is determined to follow the path she has set for herself on the ice and becoming a professional hockey player, while she's also trying to be there for the girl that she basically fell in love with, who's also struggling and facing her own traumas and her own difficulties, also trying to make it as a professional athlete, even though they have decided to go on different route when it comes to professional, like to professional careers. They do find in love with one another, but they also know that the circumstances for them to be together is very difficult, and if they actually end up being together, it will be something that will damage them more than, basically bring love to one another. This movie is very good. The ending is super emotional because I get why the movie had to end the way it did. It makes sense. I don't have no complaints regarding it. And yes, I do feel like this movie is a kind of cut off, got like a good rhythm momentum going, but I still do feel like it didn't get enough spotlight. So if you guys haven't watched Riviere, I will highly recommend you also go ahead and go do so. And then moving forward, we have mom plus mom. In this case, it can also be mama plus mama. It all depends on how your Apple TV is set up. The movie was released in 2018. It's a biograph comedy romance, the story of two women who falls in love with each other and desire to have a child because they feel like it's time for them to basically expand their family and make this big commitment. They still don't know, the basically exhaustion of attempt will be by followed by many in this case situations that they actually go through, but the desire to become parents just start being stronger and stronger and stronger, and basically start to realize it will be very exhausting for them to become parents, but it's still something that they want to do. It's basically like a couple that goes through personal challenges in order to make this new, how can we say, this new era that they have aboard on work, and then don't realize how exhausting it would be and how difficult the process would be, but they're still trying to manage it and try to stay together and be like, okay, this is what we wanted, we are here, we are exhausted, we are fighting, we are arguing, we are falling apart, but we are here and we need to figure out a way in order to make it happen. And then we also have You Can Live Forever. I feel like this movie doesn't need no introduction at all. If you know, you know, and if you don't, let me tell you, you're missing out on it. But I do feel like a lot of people know about it. Basically, when a lesbian teen, Jamie, is sent to live with basically Jehovah's Witness community, she falls madly in love with a devoted witness, and the two embark on an intense adventure with life-changing consequences. The two realize that they cannot die by them being together puts them both in very much danger, so they have decided to part ways. But it was very difficult because the two have fallen in love with one another, but the other one couldn't convince the other one to change, and the other one couldn't convince the other one to change. So at the end, they just decided maybe it's just best for us to part ways, but it was a very difficult process because they have decided to be part because one of them, in this case, how can we say, actually end up getting married and moving forward with her life and getting a husband and all of that, while the other one, Jamie, she basically left town. She needed to get a fresh air and a fresh breeze and just come back. When she came back, she saw her like being having a whole baby, so things was kind of very weird, but they'd still find a way to stay friends and be cordial with one another because the love that they had for one another was really true, and big just do not recognize it. And then moving forward, we have Grand Bolero. It's a drama romance thriller. It was released in 2021. It set it during Italian COVID era. Roxani, called basically middle-aged woman. In this case, she has a very strong like career path. She basically works in pipe organ restorer, battles to support, her obsessive attraction to her new young and basically mute assistant. The movie had a lot of people and viewers criticizing it because of the plot. So basically, it's about this elder woman that falls in love with her much younger assistant. And now she kind of wants to set boundaries on how not to be obsessive with her, but she actually cannot help it because she has and is falling for her. But she also understand like it will never work. So it's just like a whole roller coaster battle. The movie got criticized a lot. I get it, I'm not against it, but I can also see the plot that the movie wanted to basically to send off to the viewers. So if you guys don't know, the movie was released in 2021 and it's actually very, 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 very much unknown. If you ask me, my opinion, I might be wrong. If you guys share a different opinion, let me know down below. Let me know if you guys think like this movie is worth the watch, or should we just leave it where it is at, and like I said, share your opinion. So yes, guys, it's basically that. I also want to say that I've activated the super stickers to the channel just in case any of you would like to make a small donation. It will help out a lot when it comes to growth and just taking things to the next level. And if you guys know any other, like, how would I say, not very popular, but good, underrated top lesbian movies on Apple TV, please drop them down below in the comments. Thank you so much for all the love and all the support. Until the next video, and goodbye.